Welcome back to our last interview of Spiritual Emphasis Week. Today we have a conversation with our CJ chaplain, Dante Marruffo.
Hey, La Sierra fam, it is Pastor Jason. I am here with our CJ chaplain, Dante Marruffo, and I wanted you all to get a chance to get to know him. He's a really cool guy. He does great work, and this is only one of his jobs. He is CJ chaplain. He's also a chaplain with Riverside County Fire Department, and he also pastors at a church. So, Pastor Dante, Chaplain Dante, welcome. Glad you're here. Can you tell us a little bit about these jobs, these three jobs that we've talked about? How did you come into those jobs? How did you become a pastor? And then from pastoring, how did you get into chaplain work?
Well, I started as a pastor first, as you know, for many years, since 2000 or something like that. I already have like 20 years being a pastor. And I've been working as a youth pastor practically all my life until now, this last church. I'm a young adult pastor. But it's been awesome. I mean, really good opportunities for ministry and all of that. But through the whole process, all my years, actually this happened 12 years ago, I realized that I want to move and see what else is out there other than just the church. You know, I want to see how else can I get involved helping the community. And yes, that was the moment that I contacted Riverside County Fire Department, and they put me in contact with the chaplaincy, the chief chaplain, and then from there everything went well. You know, training and all that kind of stuff. But it went so well. I really like it so much that I feel that both my ministry and chaplaincy, they just go together. They cannot be separate. I mean, chaplaincy brings some areas in my ministry that I cannot do when I do ministry at church, but I can actually be someone that brings hope to people out there, especially in those darkest moments in their lives, death or incidents that we have, all kinds of things. I know I said death, but could be many other things. And then from there, when I found out that CJ, they need a chaplain, I said, hey, why not? That's something I love. And then I visit the campus, and I saw all those students like, wow, this is it. I love it. And there is so many good, awesome people there. I really love it. And just trying to encourage them, giving them some positive thoughts, and preparing them also for their careers. But because amazingly enough, sometimes we focus so much on what we have to study, but I want them to see the opportunities, and once they pursue something in criminal justice, they are also going to have in their own departments chaplains that I want them to approach. I want them to get to know them, things like that.
Yeah. So, Pastor Dante, you've been a chaplain with the Riverside County Fire Department for a while now, and you've been a chaplain even through the COVID pandemic, right? And so I just wanted to ask, whatever you're able to share, but what have you seen as a chaplain working with the fire department during this crisis? Because as we all know, in California, the fire season has been growing. It's it takes a lot to be a fireman. At the same time, right? We have a pandemic on top of it. So what have you been seeing?
Yeah, what we have seen through Riverside County, we have more than 49 stations, but we don't work separate from any other department. LA, Orange County, if they need help, we go there and help, right? And when there are incidents, big fires happening, then we are deployed to go there. As chaplains, as peer support. The chaplaincy department is part of the peer support system that we are available to any employee in the fire department and their families for emotional help. So saying all of that, fire seasons in California has changed Years ago, we used to know exactly when was the fire season, and you know that it was a slow some parts of the year, and you don't have to worry. I mean, it's just things like that. You always have to worry, but it's just less work. Now with all the climate change that sometimes we just see people disagreeing with that, the reality is that has changed so much. The fire season is practically, some of us said it has disappeared practically, because now almost any time of the year it could happen. I mean, we could have a big fire, right? We know that when the fire season comes, the weather is just perfect for that to happen. But even because the weather changes so much, even right now, the last few weeks, you have seen how everything goes like what I'm talking about, up and down, the weather, the heat, and things like that. Well, it has changed. Now, on top of that, COVID uh, has has been around us, and it has been affected so many other departments. And I'm not talking only families, meaning your family, my family, churches, but have affected many of the responders' families, because now uh, they go to different areas, uh, thinking and knowing that many of the people that they are going to help, we're talking paramedics now, we also have paramedics, is about COVID. And many of those people that you are going to transport going to hospitals are going to be COVID. So the number of calls have been going up, and the number of many of the hours of work has also been going up. So you're talking fire season, which now is not a defined fire season, right? Plus the COVID, which since February, March of last year, we have been going, is becoming to be a huge burden among the fire personnel, I believe, and many others. And don't take me wrong, we have police, we have sheriff, Riverside County, the same thing. And everywhere, everybody has been affected. So the first responders also have been affected. So we are here to help them with all those moments that are not an easy moments, when they work many hours, many days, meaning one after another, non-stop, and their families. So we are here to help them in any way we can. It's been difficult, not easy, but we are here to help them.
Yeah, Pastor Dante, in addition to helping with Riverside County as a chaplain, you're also chaplain for CJ, which stands for Criminal Justice. And I think there are many people at the Riverside campus that probably aren't aware of the CJ program, Criminal Justice Program, and what all is happening there. But it's vibrant. We have a lot of students there. And so I wanted to ask kind of, this idea of justice and faith. I'm really glad that La Sierra University is offering this program, making it available. But justice and faith, justice is a key theme in Scripture, right? Right? Do justice in Micah chapter 6. It says, right. And so I was kind of curious, for you, the fulfillment that you get in working with students who are pursuing justice, and where you think the intersection of justice and faith is.
Well, you're totally right about the Bible text you just used. That's a perfect Bible text about that. And to tell you through my personal view is that justice needs to be part of our faith, right? That is no way around that. I think one of the reasons why I like to be chaplain there at CJ is because the message of hope, more than that, the power you can give to someone who is studying to be part of of the criminal justice system, whatever that means, meaning police, FBI, whatever that means. Once they are in the field, they need to send the message that justice is there. But more than that, they need to know and believe that part of their faith and part of who they are should be justice, right? We know that we believe in a God of justice, and we said that we preach it all the time. We believe in a God of justice. But sometimes it's so difficult to apply it in real life. I noticed that. And it's so difficult to say, well 1 minute. We said not everything is black and white. There are many gray areas. Yes, for those gray areas, we need to be there, and we need to be the one saying, what about if my faith takes me to a place in which I recognize what is unjust and what is actually good to do, what is wrong, what is right. It's not an easy thing. It's not an easy area to work, and it's an area in which we can, if we don't see things correctly, and especially I'm gonna focus in the spiritual part. If as a Christian, and I'm studying to be somebody from criminal justice, if your if your faith is not founded in that justice that comes only from God, and love comes from God, but justice comes also from Him. If you are not aware of how important is that, you're gonna be making your own decisions on your own. But more than that, you're gonna be hearing everybody else telling you what is the right thing to do. Do you want to be in that moment in which you hear everybody else but you don't hear your own understanding of what you believe? If it's clear now, it's going to help you making those decisions when the moment comes. I mean, I have seen already quite a few situations in which, even so, I'm fire department. Sometimes we talk to the own to highway patrol or sheriff, because we are there in the same room, or we are there in the same in the same incident, and you start hearing and you start talking and they start sharing. There are moments in which you knowing what you believe is going to help you make the right decision, and it's going to help your faith, and you are going to also not only help you make the right decision, but you are going to send the message to others that, without you having that intention, that there is justice after all in this world, and it's coming from a God that we believe. It's coming from someone that we follow. Uh, that's probably one of the things that I can say about justice, how you mix justice and faith.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I appreciate your perspective, Pastor Dante. And, kind of in this moment, as you and I, right, and then the rest of our team try to minister to our students, one of the questions, and this is the last question, but one of the questions is, how do you get filled during this time? Because as a chaplain, as a pastor, you're pouring into other people, right? You're investing in them, you're building up their faith, you're encouraging them. And in these moments, so many of us who are helping other people need to take care of ourselves too. And so what do you do that fills you spiritually, that might be good advice for some of the students listening?
I think that one thing I usually do a lot, and probably is not something that I could say everybody wants to do, but I know everybody can do it. It's just time alone with God, man. First, time alone with yourself, because we all need to realize that we need that time as human beings to just slow down, to just rethink all the things that are happening in your life. It's like the last 48 hours I have been on duty, kind of like for practically each day from 7 o'clock in the morning until 8 o'clock at night, because of some situations we had. And after that, then what, right? Who is the one that I approach? I can approach my wife, who is also a chaplain. But at the end, being by myself, reflecting, thinking about anything that happened, and then talking to God on my own, that gives me so much of that peace that sometimes I need to intentionally bring it into my life. Because I can be watching TV, and I can be listening to the news, I can be doing many other things. But many times all of that is just noise, and I'm trying to be away from that noise, because I need to be aware that my soul needs to be refreshed in order for me to be helping somebody else. If I don't do that, it becomes to be, everybody else becomes to be just somebody I need to help. That's my duty, so I just need to do it. But they are people. They are people like me. Many of them, I mean, all of them, sorry, all of them go through difficult times and different situations, and they need from me someone who is aware of what's going on and who is connected to the Lord, that I can give them hope, that I can give them something they want to hear and bring hope into their lives. So being by myself, being alone sometimes, and I add to that some music that I can probably hear, listen. uh, that's my, I mean, that's my thing. I love it. And together, if I want to add something more, I could say I will probably jump into my truck, open my window, have my music, and drive with no destiny, just going around. One day I did it like 91, going the 15 all the way to the 10, going back to the 91. Like it just that. Why? Because I was just by myself with my music, and I remember it was summer, so the window down. That's it.
See, so
That's it.
that was actually my question. I was gonna follow up, right, where you're saying, hey, I like to spend time alone. I was gonna ask you, oh, do you like to be in your car, right? Is that where you like to be alone, right? Or do you like to,
Yes.
lock a door in your house, right? And turn
So
off the light?
sometimes I
Yeah.
went to, I had to admit it, I went to La Sierra University when the campus was open, and I parked by the gym, look into the fields, open my window, and I was just there. And you will say, what are you doing here? Just doing nothing, just thinking, just reflecting, praying, reading maybe, but more reflecting, like what just happened.
Mm,
How can how can, I mean, what that means in my life, how that changed my life, how can I change somebody else's life? What did I learn from everything? Because everything that happened in chaplaincy and everything that happened in ministry affects your life for the good or for the bad. It could be really one or another. Because if you allow for many of those things to overwhelm you, then you are in a different situation, and that cannot happen. And sometimes other chaplains also call me and they say, hey, how are you? We know you went to that call. You want to talk about it. All of those conversations help me, but nothing better than being by myself, reflecting. Yes.
As always, for those of you who would like to get connected with our office, you could email us spirituallife@lasierra.edu, or you could slide into our DMs on Instagram. We'll see you later.